Boy, you shine. Thought my name is Drake, and I had a couple blind. Going to a job. Thought my name is Drake, and I had a couple blind. Boy, you shine. I ain't one for camp. I pulled out the strap, been my dick, hit the camera.
Yo, we're back. Welcome back to another episode of The Bakery. We're in for a treat today. We're going to have a pretty good episode. I think this is going to be a great episode. Some stuff that, I've been conjuring up in my mind, getting some wisdom from God and other people around me, some important people. So I'm excited for this episode, and I'm excited for the next one that's coming out as well, which I might record today just to have it ready. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens after this episode. So this episode is episode 6, I believe. If not 6, 7. If not 7, probably 5. I don't know. I've been putting them together, so I should know, but I don't. Anywho, this episode is going to be about building trust and keeping it. And I want to draw an emphasis on the trust part as well as keeping, because those two go hand in hand, and a lot of times it's hard to put both together when you deal with a lot of different outcomes that you don't expect. So I want to kind of focus on that kind of thing and just kind of give my point of view, like I've stated before, and just give some wisdom along with it. So let's get into it. Building trust and keeping it. Yeah. Trust is such a big thing nowadays in life. It's a hard thing to deal with. It is also a hard I'm trying to put the words together. It's just something that's valued a lot. I'll say that. I value it a lot. Since a little kid, my trust has been very important to me, and I think that the amount of people, along with the amount of bonds I've tried to build, haven't always been the best, but I've tried to make them the best. Not only because I value life and I value bonds with people, and I value, having someone or having multiple people that I can share my thoughts, my passions, my emotions, my feelings with, that if I can't continue that with you, then there's something wrong, and something has to change or something has to happen. And I really prayed on this. I want to make this a good episode without anybody getting offended, which I really don't care, because this show is about me and it's helping others. But at the same time, like I said, I don't do name drops. I don't just bash anybody for any situation. And again, not that it matters, because this is my story. This is how I want to tell it. But I'm not going to give specific examples to make people feel like, oh, he's talking about me. He's talking about me. Da-da-da-da-da. If that's how you feel in the end of this episode, so be it. I don't care. I'm not going to sit back or I'm not going to go back and explain myself on why I did what I did. You want to be mad? Cool. Like I said, this is about trust and building it. So if there's been any time for anyone who's watching this, if you've dealt with me and we don't speak anymore, or, if you feel like what I'm saying is about you, that's on you. I'm not saying any names. I'm not saying anything pertaining to any situation that's happened in the past. I may give an example, but like I said, if the shoe fits for you, that's on you. So let's get into it. I had this crazy thought last night while I was at work, and I just thought about the word trust and how it's not used properly nowadays. I think people use it and just throw it around and be like, yeah, you can trust me. I'm this, I'm that, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, it's like, depending I think depending on what age you are and what time period it was and is, affects our behavior. Not only that, but a lot of social media and a lot of other things influence our brain and our hearts and our thoughts to act a certain way and portray things that aren't exactly good. So for me, growing up, I had a lot of trust issues. I won't lie. There was things that I would speak on and tell people about, or feel a certain way, and I felt like my privacy wasn't respected. And that kind of made me feel like, well, why am I gonna say anything? Who is it that I can confide in and tell, how I'm feeling? And so I started writing, and I won't read the whole thing, but I'll just read bits and pieces and kind of elaborate on it. And so I started out, I said, if I trust someone, I expect people to understand from day one how serious I am about it. I tell the reason why and allow people to show me if it can be built up more, or is it to the point that I have to make the proper adjustment and relocate them in my life. So when I said that part, it kind of, how can I put it? It kind of reminded me of past situations where, again, my privacy wasn't respected. Now, granted, there was things that I was doing that were out in the open, or even like social media. Like I said, I was tweeting things, and everybody just knew my business, which is cool. But at the same time, it's like in my brain at the time, I was thinking, well, why are you even bringing it up? What's the point in bringing it up? And I didn't realize the importance of not saying things out in the open. And it got me in a lot of different situations that I was not expecting, but I had to adjust to and prepare for. So when I thought about it and I wrote it down, like I said, I thought about all those times where, I've tweeted something or I've told people something and it got relayed to somebody else, and then it got relayed to somebody else and it came back to me. It kind of hurt me a lot, because it's like, these are people I call my friends, right? And they're sitting here going behind my back and saying things and doing things that, I wouldn't expect them to do. So at this point, it's like maturing early and growing up early benefited me a lot more than I thought it would, because that's when I was like, I realized, and also having conversations with my mom and other family members, it's like I realized, like, dang, it's an evil world we live in. Like, people are not gonna be who they say they are. People are gonna show who they truly are, and they're gonna act on that behavior, based on whether it be popularity or wanting to know the latest stuff based off of what people are telling them or what they hear. And I think that sucks. I think it sucks when people take information and twist it and turn it into something else as well, because it's like, I want to be cool. I want to know the latest stuff. I want people to come talk to me. So let me just figure out a way to do that. And then they turn to that behavior, and it's like, it just turns into a whole new world, and not a good world, but an evil one. That I feel like that's truly how behavior is affected. I feel like that's how people affect other people's behaviors too, because they're like, oh, well, this person's doing it, let me give it a try. And I don't think that's how it should go. Even nowadays, like, grown adults do the same thing. Not necessarily to me, but I've seen it done to other people, and it's ugly. Why do you feel like you need to be a certain way towards people to feel important? Why do you feel like you need to be a certain way about people to get the attention you need? And maybe they grew up, without that type of attention they had in their life, which is, I'm not putting anybody at fault, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like the older we get, the better decisions we should make, because we're all adults, we're all human beings, we all feel a certain way, we all deal with trials and tribulations in life, and if you can't program your brain and adjust yourself and keep yourself in a position where you think for yourself and don't do the same type of things that people have been doing for a long time now, then you're just as part of the crowd as anyone else. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't want to be a part of everybody else. You should want to be different in your own way. And I realized that growing up, I was like, dang, like I don't want to be like everybody else, I want to be me. I want to be original. I want to be unique. And I always have been for so long, but I was expecting people to see that. And so I was like, dang, like I can't force people to see my difference. And I know this doesn't have to do nothing with trust, but this was going on in my head at this age. So, as you get older and, you start to figure out things for what they are, that's when you can make changes, the necessary changes in your life. That's when you can start adjusting things to help you not only keep your sanity, but build your trust better. So I think that little piece kind of like fits the part of trust building. We'll say that. And so I continued on, and I continued to say, day after day, God reveals to me that people aren't in my best interest, and it hurts because I start trusting them, and they always end up showing me why I shouldn't. Why that part was important is because after high school, going into college, going into adulthood, and then now, I've had to make so many different adjustments, right? So when we talk about trust building, we talk about let's say we're finding one person, right? We found one person that we've been friends with for so long. We've developed a relationship where we have an understanding. Okay, this is who you are. This is who I am. We can make this work as friends, whether it be a guy or a girl. And I can talk to you. You can talk to me. We can motivate each other. We can help each other through different situations. Now, when it comes to that kind of stuff, that's an okay thing, I think that when you find somebody like that, it makes life a little bit better because you guys can vent to each other. Not necessarily trauma dump. I'm not saying do that. Some people find it okay, but everybody should be able to have a person they can talk to daily, nightly, weekly, and just have conversation, just express how they feel. And let's say you find that person, right? And so when you start building a foundation of trust with them, that wall, those stairs get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then let's say at one point somebody says something to one person, or you say something to them, and they go spill it out to somebody else. Well, now you got a crack, right? So you have a crack in your stairs. And then you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going, and they keep talking, and they keep talking, and they keep talking, and then eventually you have more cracks. And then the process keeps going, and then next thing you know, your stairs crumble, right? And it gets to the point where it's like, well, dang, how can I keep telling you stuff if you're just going to keep leaving avenues, leaving alleyways for people to come in and know my business, not only my business, but your business, because I'm pretty sure you're telling them stuff that you've told me, and then it's leaking out to them, and then that's going to leak. It's a snowball effect. It just keeps going downhill after that. And I don't think that's okay, because what is the point of me having one person I can talk to if they're just gonna go tell everybody else? Or what's the point of me having 3, 4 people to talk to if they're just gonna tell everybody else? I can't. You can't progress that way. You can't have a solid foundation of friends that way. You can't have a solid foundation of people that way. And that's the part I talk about with building. Is like, I'm trying to build and get better and evolve as a human being, and I'm trying to bring somebody along with me. But then you realize you can't bring everybody with you, because not everybody's on the same mind wave as you. So at that point, like I stated it earlier, you have to adjust. You have to move this person to a certain area in your life where, yeah, you can still talk to them. You can talk, have fun, conversate, laugh, and giggle about this and that. But there's certain stuff that you can't tell them, that you're either going to keep to yourself, or you're going to try to build trust with somebody else. And even like family members, there could be family members that you trust and you love to death, and they could be doing the same thing. So then you adjust. You move them down here. And I'm not saying this is a good idea, but I'm saying this is something that's helped other people. This is something that people do now. I'm not saying I personally do it, because I love all my family. I trust my family to the end of time. So I can't speak for everybody else when it comes to trust in family, because I've never experienced that type of situation before. So for anybody who does, if it's going to help you, you adjust in your life. You put people in certain areas which works for you, not only for you, but also keeps them from, telling them about your new car, telling them about your new house, or because then they might, oh, such and such got a new house, da 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 da, and that may be information you don't want to leak to the world. That's why when I'm doing the things that I'm doing, I don't tell everybody. I keep it to myself most of the time, or I'll tell specific people that I know I can trust, that I've built that bond with, that I can tell them separately, and they don't know. Nobody else knows anything. And that's what I love about some of my friendships now, is that I can go to person A and I can tell him everything, right? And I can know that it's not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to get judged for it. And I'm only going to get, motivated more to build better mindsets. Not only that, but allow myself to feel comfortable in my decisions and my feelings and how I tell this person what's going on in life. And same in return. Even though this person does not tell me everything, we have a bond that we understand each other. So if anything ever happens, we know, hey, I need such and such. If you can, let me know. If not, I'm on the way. I got you, bro. And I love that person to death. That's my guy. I love him to death. And I'm not saying names. I may go tell them, but I don't trust anybody else to go tell them. So, yeah, whoever's watching this, if you're mad about it, stay mad. I'm sorry. So it is what it is. But back on track. Let's get back on track. So, yeah, man. Know when to tell people certain stuff. Know when to involve certain people in certain things. And I promise it'll make a difference in your life. Because then you'll start to see people's true colors. And then that'll be a clear indication, like, oh, this person just cussed me out for 30 minutes. Oh, this person sent me an ugly text, a long paragraph explaining why I'm this, I'm that, I'm blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. You can stay over there. I love you from a distance, my brother or my sister in Christ. But I'm not going to keep putting up with your crap. Hey, you stay over there with that. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Again, I love you, but I can't. So, and so finally I finished with this, and this was going to be a little bit longer, but I said that I wrote down all I want to do. Where did I find it? Oh, all I want to do is be surrounded by the right people who I can say something to and then not go all over town or even throw them back in my face. So, how am I going to know or see what's a better way to handle things in an appropriate way? How can I be left alone from now on? Now again, I don't have any specific examples that I want to express on this episode, but just based off that last paragraph, I can feel the emotion in what I'm saying based off my experiences and what I've dealt with. I've always wanted to be, again, I like I stated before, I've always wanted to build a bond with a group of people that I trust. And sometimes it's been good, sometimes it's been bad. But again, I've adjusted and I've made the changes that I need to make in order for that situation or those situations to be better for me and keep my sanity and keep my peace, because I shouldn't have to explain myself. I shouldn't have to keep going behind somebody and saying, why did you say that? What was the point of you doing that? No, I should be able to go to my friend and know that, or go to my friends and know that I'm not getting my business spread out in the streets. And yeah, I know at a certain age, the maturity level is not exactly there. And I know I wasn't always mature, but I matured a lot faster than other people. And people are gonna watch this. That's not even true. Da, 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 da. You did this in high school. Da, 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 da. I don't care. You can think that all you want, but I know in my brain, and the people that I know, including my family, have seen me mature faster than a lot of people that I've dealt with. So your opinion doesn't matter. But like I said, I've had to handle things in a certain way at an early age and all the way to now that have made me a better person, a better man, a better human being, not only to myself, but towards other people. So I'm grateful for those changes I made. I'm grateful that I didn't allow certain things to make me into a human being that wasn't a nice person, that wasn't a loving person, that wasn't a giving person, someone who's always willing to help, someone who's always willing to put his best foot forward, someone who's always willing to show up for a friend, someone who's willing to give advice when he has it, someone who's willing to share knowledge when God gives it to him. And God gives me a lot of knowledge. That's my dog. But I'm grateful to be in a better position now versus when I was years ago. And I'm still growing as a person. I'm still learning these different things. I'm still, life is a process. But when you have faith and trust in God as well, that makes a difference. Not only do you trust yourself, not only do you have that one person you trust, but you also trust him, because he's gonna move things around. He's gonna make space for what needs to be made, and he's gonna put you in a position where he sees fit and where he sees that you can grow as a human being. So I found this Bible verse, Psalms 9-12. And it says, I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God and whom I trust. And that verse hit me because it's like, I talk about building trust. I talk about, making the proper adjustments in life. And when I read that verse, it just lets me know that no matter what I may do in life, no matter what position I may end up in, no matter the circumstances I might be going through, I know for a fact that he's my shield. He's my fortress. Like it says, he is my refugee and my fortress. He's a fortress for you. So anything that may be coming your way, he's over here like, you know what I'm saying? Like Wonder Woman, like, bah, bah, block, move, stiff arm. Like, come on now. He's the greatest. He's the biggest fortress that I have. And I'm so grateful for that. Because again, like I said, I've made the adjustments. I've grown into a better human being because of that. And I've taken the wisdom that I've gotten from not only him, but from family and that one person that I talk to that I can trust. And I've taken that and I've built it into my own. So now I have this little home, this little shed with my fortress around me of knowledge and wisdom and knowing that I'm going to be okay and that I can do what I need to do to keep going forward and to keep making the right decision as I get older, as I go through life, and as I become a better man and a much stronger man. And so with that Bible verse and everything that I talked about, I came up with an end message for myself. And this is also for you guys too. And it says, allowing God to show me a way to build trust with certain people and who not to allow into the deeper part of my life will be better than acting on pure emotion. You always want to act you always want to act on logic before emotion, because when emotion gets involved, that's when anger builds. That's when you lash out to other people, and that's how a lot of people get mistreated. So when you know when it's time to use emotions, certain emotions, that's when you do it. When you know when it's time to be angry with, I'm not saying go out here and just be disrespectful, but with a respectful manner. You can be angry, but you don't have to yell. You don't have to cuss people out. You don't have to treat people a certain way. You don't have to dog people a certain way or make them feel how you feel. You kill them with kindness. You can be angry, but you still treat people with the same respect that you've wanted to be treated in any situation, in any circumstances that weren't right for you. But with that being said, that's all I have for today. I really like that I was able to say what I needed to say and get it off my chest, as well as help anybody else out there that's watching. As you all know, as anybody who knows me knows, I'm all about positivity. I'm all about spreading positivity to those who need it. I'm all about making people smile. I'm all about just love in general. And I hope that with this podcast, I can give that to you guys, as well as, anybody else who may need a good talking to, may need some wisdom, may need anything. I want to be a good example for my peers and my generation that is today. I feel like we can make a difference. I feel like I can help make a difference, and I feel like I can make a change, not only for myself, like I've made before, but just, like I said, just building upon what I've already built now. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all coming through. As always, I'm your host with the most, Mac Diesel, and I hope this message helps somebody today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, follow me on all platforms. Go get you some merch. I put it in the last video. I'll do it again. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see at the end of this episode. But again, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
My name is Tik, and I had a couple lines. Going to a job. Thought my name is Tik, and I had a couple lines. Will you shine? I ate one for camp. I pulled out the strap with my dick. Hit the cat. Wait a minute.